Hi there, it's the Dutch Master and welcome to this brand new episode of Let's Build My Dream Gym in The Sims 4. So finally we finished the exterior in the previous episode, which means that we're starting with the interior now. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this because honestly I feel like so far I've thought out the plan for the interior of this build pretty well. I mean, I've thought about the layout, which is something I normally don't really do, or at least for the lower levels I did. The cool thing is that we've got a basement, which means that we've got like a lot of freedom to add anything we want. And yeah, I'm just excited to get started. So we're obviously starting with the reception area because I mean, yeah, you've got to enter the place somewhere. So I guess that will be the reception, and then yeah, normally you've got like little ports where you have to walk through, or at least it depends, you know, it's different for every gym. My gym actually doesn't have it. We just have to slide our like pass in there and that's it. Then you've entered the building, which isn't like necessarily the most safe way to get into a gym, or at least it's easy to get into the gym, but people who don't actually pay to get into the gym can get into the gym easily as well, which can be nice for some. For those who don't pay, those who do pay actually don't really bother about it probably, so it doesn't really matter. Also, this is The Sims, so it doesn't really matter anyways, which is cool because then you can do whatever you want, which is actually one of the reasons why this game is so much fun, seriously, because you can do anything. You've got a lot of freedom. You can maybe say there are very many limitations as well. Well, yeah, still, you know, there's a lot of freedom to do whatever crazy stuff you want. Which is what I think is cool, especially with building. Though recently, well, I really just want terrain tools. You probably know about that, but seriously, that's like the thing I hate most about The Sims 4 is the fact that we don't have terrain tools, but furthermore, the graphics in the game are getting better every expansion pack. I really like the look of the items. Whoops, well, at least I can see it clearly now from this point. But yeah, let me know, because I often ask you questions simply because I'm interested to hear what you think about it. But the question for this time is, what do you think of The Sims 4? Do you think it's... Because for me sometimes it feels like it isn't really... It's never had its highlighting, shining moment for some reason. Because people probably expected a lot from it. And it is a good game, but still, because of its false start sort of, I feel like it's never been able to really fix that. But I'm very curious to hear from you whether that's just a feeling I have and therefore not really valid, or whether it is indeed something that I share with other people, sort of. Because for me it sometimes feels like The Sims 4 hasn't really started yet, even though, I mean, we've had the game for 3 years now. And of course still there is stuff which we don't have yet. That's obvious, because you can't always have everything, but for some reason it doesn't really feel like we're already halfway through like this game, sort of, because honestly we are, because often there's an entire new game coming out every 5 years, I believe. Well, this being year 3, we're over half already, which is like almost shocking, because I mean, I really don't feel like we're ready to close it off yet, but this is going too far, because I mean, we're not closing it off yet. But yeah, this is the entrance area. Let's just get right into the thing you're watching this, the dream build. Even though, yeah, I'm curious to hear, what do you think about the commentaries? Because there are like very many different kinds of commentaries on YouTube, especially also with The Sims, with regards to what people like and what people do. I tend to, yeah, I variate between talking about nonsense and stuff that doesn't really relate to what I'm doing, and stuff that does relate to what I'm doing. But what do you prefer, sort of? Because I'm always wondering. I also really like to talk just about random stuff that's happening in like my life, or things I'm thinking about, or something like that. But yeah, I can imagine that if you just come here to watch a gaming video, or at least, yeah, an architecture video, which is more what I see this like than a gaming video, because I don't really consider myself a gamer. I've never really been a gamer. Back when I was like younger, I always played Legos, which I've seriously done until I was like pretty old, I think 12 or something, which is probably like a regular age to stop playing Legos, I guess. But I just enjoyed it so much that I just wanted to continue as long as I could. And then I went over to Sims, but not just because it's a game, but just because I really like to be able to design whatever I want in this game, which is what it's called. How did I come to this topic? That's okay. Well, sometimes that's seriously what I wonder. How did it get this far, sort of? Also with the channel generally. But yeah, I'm just curious to hear what you think about what I should be talking about, even though I personally also think it's my own. You know, I can decide for myself what I want to talk about. That's sort of the idea when you create a channel. But recently I've really been thinking about what I should be doing with the channel, as far as I sort of feel like I'm behind with innovation, which is sort of strange. But for me, making videos has always just really been about just creating them because I'm creating what I really like to create. Not to sort of keep up with the rest and with the rest of the market, which is what you would call it. And I guess that being the rest of the Sims YouTube video makers. But that's also because often I didn't really have to keep up with it because it wasn't really moving quickly. But recently, well, actually past year already and even longer, making Sims videos has seriously been like become the coolest thing to do ever. And therefore very many people have started doing it. Not meaning that it's still really the coolest thing to do, but hey, I'm doing it myself, so I can't judge. Therefore I have actually had to move on with the rest of the people making the videos, but I feel like I've sort of stuck not doing it, and I feel, or I'm wondering how I can sort of progress the channel, turn it into something, well, not something new necessarily, because I do think my channel is different from other channels, but I'm wondering if sometimes I've not really done my best enough to keep moving forward to do new stuff. Maybe I should try other things as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about that, because that's just something that's been on my mind recently. Also because I had the exams, and then when I got back from those exams, sort of, or when I finally got back to YouTube after the exams, the channel was sort of silent, which felt strange because I'd been uploading like forever. But yeah, where's this conversation going? That's probably what you're wondering. That's something I'm wondering myself as well. But yeah, it's just that sometimes I'm wondering how I should make the this is hard. Because I do like the videos I create, but sometimes I feel like it's sort of the same. If you go to another channel on YouTube, like a regular channel, they can do whatever they want, and I'm sort of I have to sort of stick to the Sims videos, and I would like to broaden the type of videos I create by also creating more architectural videos. But I'm wondering if that's something that would be liked, and if that's like even a good idea. So that's just what I've been thinking about, and I've really had to use a lot of words to get it out, because I don't know how that... Okay, I don't know. I must say though, this thing in the middle is cool. I've never used these benches before, but seriously, for this purpose, this is like perfect. I mean, look at it. If these aren't like sports benches, I mean, it's not enough, or at least... yeah, it's gonna be sort of crowded, but it's The Sims, so it doesn't really matter. Because I also can't fit many more. Because, no, that doesn't work. Well, then I'll just leave it this way. Would be cool if I could add like some modern cool posters somewhere out here. Or should I just, you know, in the end it is still like a commercial building. I've been saying that a lot in this series, but that's just because I often just get away from the commercial building vibe and turn it into like something more regular, I guess. Maybe in this way we can indicate gender, though, yeah, you know, the color doesn't necessarily mean gender, but the world has decided that it does, before I'm getting, well, hate about that, but confusion about that. I'm looking at the floor plan right now, and I'm seeing this area, and I'm seriously wondering why I created this area. And I already know what the reason for that was. I thought, or at least I didn't think, that I would add these stairs over here and that people would actually be able to walk by past the changing area, but obviously they can't. So how will I do this? I think I'll just fix this up by making this like another locker space. Something else I could do is just removing the lockers from this area, but that would make this sort of empty, I guess. Another thing could be that this is sort of a viewing area, but having people look at you while you're like working out, I'm not too sure if that's like the best idea I've ever had. But yeah, like I said in the previous episode, and maybe I should just repeat it because it's not really a big deal, but these episodes have now been pre-recorded. I know that in the first half of sort of this series I asked you a lot for feedback, and I used that feedback. I've been very happy with that feedback, but because I'm on a holiday right now while you're watching this, or at least most likely I am, yes, I believe I am by the time you're watching this, or not yet. Otherwise I'm going like tomorrow or something, but I'm going to South Africa and I have to really pre-record many videos for that. And also I just figured out that I had to finish this series, which is what I'm doing right now, but therefore I can't really take your feedback into consideration anymore. At least, you know, the point is I've already recorded the next episode by the time I'm reading your feedback. So it means, you know, I'm still reading the comments, but I just can't implement it right now. But maybe I can implement it once I'm uploading it to the gallery. But I can honestly say that that will most likely not happen. But hey, I'm still finishing this build. And then I've also pre-recorded very many really cool speed builds, around the world speed builds. So I know that that's like the favorite type of speed build for very many people. So I've recorded quite a few of those. I've recently uploaded the Ibiza or Ibiza speed build. I read the comments on that video and people laughed at me for the fact that I didn't pronounce it correctly. I actually mentioned in the video that I didn't really know how to pronounce it, because for some reason English people tend to say it Ibiza, which is the reason I thought it was Ibiza, but in like I thought it was Ibiza or something in that direction, because in Dutch we say it something like that. But anyways, a lot of confusion going on there. People thought I was very stupid. I sort of had to laugh about that, to be honest. But yeah, it was cool to see the other response or the other replies and feedback on that video, because it was the first around the world speed build in a long time, and it was really cool to see that people actually considered that series their favorite series on YouTube, because I know what it means, or at least I personally watch a lot of YouTube, or back in the days I watched more YouTube, but I really like to watch YouTube, and I personally don't watch a lot of gaming videos, but I do watch like travel vloggers and just people creating like really cool content. And then if they create like a series, I just literally look forward to their videos. And it's sort of strange for me to imagine that there are also people looking forward as much to my videos as I am looking forward to like the videos of people I really like to watch, because like that's really cool. This has really gotten out of hand. Yeah, that's just something I wanted to say. But yeah, more on topic. Around the world speed builds, they're coming up every Friday. A new video will be online. I'm not saying every pre-recorded speed build is an around the world speed build, because yeah, is just a limited amount of places to create videos from, obviously, which means that, or at least which doesn't mean that I've done them all yet, but I have done quite a few of them. And the reason that I've done, right now the reason that I'm not doing some of them is because they don't have like a very specific type of architecture, or they're for some reason impossible to make or whatever. But if you have any suggestions, you can also leave them out here. But what's coming up is a Sri Lankan build and also a Tokyo townhouse build, which is really cool as well. And I must say the Sri Lankan build is my favorite one so far. I'm not sure if it's online already by the time this one is up. Probably not, thinking about it. So hey, it's coming up pretty soon. Every Friday there will be a new speed build Because in that way I had to pre-record for like 5 weeks, because when I come back from a holiday I can't immediately record new videos either. So I had to do quite some pre-recording, but it was fun. Yeah, I hope you'll enjoy that. And I thought, you know, I can make like very many other videos, like more of these kinds of let's builds, but I know that people prefer the speed builds over everything. I personally really like to create those as well, and they're easier. Well, they're not necessarily easier to pre-record because they take a lot of time, but in the end, that is what keeps the channel going, I think. And I personally prefer the end result of those as well, because those videos are often just really cool. But yeah, that's coming up. But where did this, again, I don't know where I started with this conversation, or where I started this talk, because it's not really a conversation, because otherwise you're sort of silent, I guess, because I'm not really getting a reply. But what I was saying is that I think it's really cool if you leave a comment. So if you've got something to say about this video, you know, don't forget that I like to read about that. Because also when I'm on a holiday, I actually read the comments. And every now and then I also try to reply, but you can't reply to like every comment. And also it doesn't really get to me that people like, or at least appreciate a comment that much. You know, if it does, then if you say leave a comment like that, I hope I can answer, but do remember it's a holiday, so maybe I'm sort of slow to reply to your comment. Don't hold me to the fact that I'll reply to every comment, because that's simply impossible. But alright, we're getting somewhere with the interior so far. I think I'll just add some equipment on this level right now, and then we've seriously come quite a far way already, or at least one level done. Then I think we'll need two more episodes after this one. That's my expectation, which should be fine, I guess, or at least that sounds like a good plan to me. And hey, in the end, I'm the boss of the channel, so that's pretty cool. I can just decide whatever I want. So let me see. I'm adding this out here. I really think it's cool to have that pool over there. I mean, doesn't that look like very epic? If you ask me, this is like, I really like it. Got to change this, because in this way it just looks better, to be honest. Then adding some better color. Cool, I like this. Especially considering that you know, enter this gym. This is seriously the fanciest gym I've ever seen, or at least I've never seen it. It's just in The Sims, but because you enter and then you see the pool to the right, and then the entrance is fancy already as well. But hey, equipment to add. I still find it hilarious how we've actually not really gotten a lot of fitness equipment with the fitness stuff pack, or at least not new fitness equipment, meaning that I'm probably not adding the new fitness equipment because I don't really like the look of them. Again, I've said it in a lot of recent videos, but I really like the items of the fitness stuff pack, but just not the fitness items of the fitness stuff pack. But generally, the items coming with this pack are like some of the best out there, if you ask me, because you've seen me adding these chairs. Hey, guess what pack they're from? Exactly, fitness stuff pack. So, you know, seriously, one of my favorite packs just doesn't have the right name, if you ask me. They should have called it like the cool stuff pack, and then, you know, people wouldn't hate on it for not being fitness stuff like they expected. So, well, maybe I should turn this one around, because then you can maybe look down the pool if you're even able to do so during the workout. But I mean, this looks kind of right. Because one point with gyms in The Sims, at least, if you ask me, is always that it looks so messy, and it doesn't look very good, because you can't like bring a lot of variation into the items you add, because simply there's just a limited amount of items, and also you can't place them very logically. And also, you know, you're not adding like a little coffee table next to gym apparatus, because that's just very illogical. So yeah, therefore often they don't really look good if I'm adding them in like a home. But this looks pretty cool, if you ask me. This is just like a regular good gym space. Have we got some other equipment? Yeah, the point is I sort of want them with the same color, which means that we've only got a couple of combinations. This one is new actually. And then also, of course, we've got the climbing wall. That is like the major item for the fitness stuff pack. That one is definitely new, I know, but I mean, it's one item, which, yeah, is cool, but it's one item. And I'm not adding it in like very many builds, probably only this one, because it's like so huge. But hey, doesn't really matter, because at least I have a reason to build my own dream gym in The Sims now, just because of this stuff pack. Otherwise people would be like, why are you doing this? But now I'm saying like, yeah, because we've got the fitness stuff pack. Very logical. Adding bamboo is also always a very good idea to add in the gym, because who doesn't like the smell of bamboo? Well, in the gym, does bamboo even smell? We've got to ask the pandas, I guess. But hey, adding some light. The lighting in this area does sort of, what have I done that makes the lighting this terrible? Well, it's not that terrible, it's just not great either. Yeah, I like this, but it's sort of empty, right? And those boxing things does make it look cooler, if you ask me. Maybe these aren't placed correctly, or at least they're not. Well, that's sort of awkward if you're, that's like the most awkward thing ever actually. If you're sitting in front of someone else having to do the workout. Nope, that's just, I don't want to give my Sims that struggle. I guess I'll put some running things. There we go, some treadmills, I do know the name. I think this should be okay for the first episode of the interior. Like I said, probably 2 more episodes, because we've got to furnish this and this one, and we can make that as large as we want. So I'm doing that in the last episode. Depending on how much time we've got left, I'm going to see what I'm going to be doing there. So that's still a little surprise. I forgot to add lights over here, so therefore I'm adding these new fitness stuff pack lights, which are the coolest lights ever. Seriously, look at these, they're awesome. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. I've been talking a lot about random stuff, but I hope you nevertheless really liked it. If you did, please let me know, and also don't forget that in a couple of days or whatever there will be a new video, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel either. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back later.